don't get it twisted if this video ends up taking a little bit of a turn. I am not depressed by this situation. I am so fucking motivated to do something about it. And I'm seeing all of this stuff happening, and most of my negative predictions tend to happen, and whenever I'm being overly optimistic, it always seems to fall flat on its face, mostly because I could not properly forecast the most popular president of all time ascending to his golden throne as the 46th president of the United States. I just didn't see that groundswell of support happening, from those half-empty rallies to that totally astroturfed drive-up campaign rallies that he was holding at the same time. I just didn't realize that that would end up accounting for over 81 million votes. I just could not have properly forecasted that to happen, and especially if you're not allowed to look at any of the evidence, you're not allowed to properly check any of the fucking numbers. But anyways, I digress. What I'm going to be putting forward here is just another extension of everything we've been seeing before, okay? The federal government thinks that it's going to have license over anything that it shills out some money, your money, back to you through their channels, and they're going to be able to restrict it if you don't follow what they say. So we're seeing here, HHS becomes the latest federal agency to mandate COVID-19 vaccines for workers. The Department of Health and Human Services on August 12th today announced that it will require all its frontline healthcare workers to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. HHS is now the third federal agency to require its employees to receive the vaccine, joining the Department of Veteran Affairs and the Department of Defense. There are some more agencies also lining up, but we'll get to those after we're through with this one. Staff at the Indian Health Services, weird, and National Institutes of Health, who serve in federally operated healthcare and clinical research facilities and interact with or have a potential to come into contact with patients who will be required to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. See what they're doing here? It's not just going to stop at the federal level. It's going to start going to the state level. And then it's going to wind up at the different municipalities level. And if you think that the courts are going to come in and fucking save anybody, sure, they've worked out in a couple of instances. There's an airline workers union. One of them successfully pushed back for the time being, until some nosy Nancy's decide that they need to overturn that. I don't see a way out on this one. I really don't. And I do see how we move forward in order to push against that. And I don't want to be overly hyperbolic about it, but I think you guys can finish that sentence there. Need not linger on it any further. The policy will apply to more than 25,000 individuals who operate health and clinical research facilities who would come into contact with patients. Our number one goal is health and safety of the American public. No, it's not. It's all about control and seeing how much you can get away with, including our federal workforce. And the vaccines are the best tool we have to protect the people from COVID-19, prevent the spread of the Delta variant, and save lives, you fucking con artists. It's nothing about that. Stop the spread of the Delta variant. Oh, what about the other variants that are out there? I thought we were going to be trying to stop the spread of the UK variant, the Japanese variant, the South American, the South African, the South fucking Pacific fucking variants. All of the ones that have come before. This was all supposed to be stopped by just a little bit more fucking government. But now apparently we're just going to be stopping this fucking super dangerous Delta variant with more government. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. But again, more agencies are just lining up. Department of Veteran Affairs expanding COVID-19 vaccine mandate. What did I say? Oh, it's just going to be the healthcare workers right now. You're just being crazy. They wouldn't possibly expand it any further than that. Well, fucking guess what? Department of the VA announced on August 12th that it's expanding the COVID-19 vaccine to include most employees and volunteers. Who fucking seen this one coming? Oh, exactly. Under the expansion, the bulk of Veteran Health Administration workers, including hybrid Title 38 and Title 5 healthcare personnel, such as pharmacists, engineers, and housekeepers, must be vaccinated. VHA is a component of the VA. Yeah, of course it is. We are now including most VHA workers and volunteers and contractors in the vaccine mandate because it remains the best way to keep veterans safe. Go fuck yourself. You can't see this. It's just me grabbing my package off screen. So go suck on that, you fucking frauds. This pandemic is not over in the VA. It'll never be over if you guys are allowed to continue to do this fucking insane shit. VA last month became the first federal agency to mandate COVID-19 vaccines and some of its workers. The Department of Health and Human Services announced its expanded mandate on today, August 12th. I still can't believe we're in August already. This year is flying by. And the Department of Defense signaled this week that it plans to require vaccinations soon. What about education? Yeah, we seen it get mandated for all the school workers in California, but now don't worry, the feds are going to swoop in and they're going to try to push this forward as well, which is kind of weird. You can kind of see this off to the side, so I just pulled up the headline. I don't know, because some of my old content gets taken down for, at the time, what would have been accurate reporting, but then because it doesn't jive with the science that's out there, I don't know if I can read that, but I can definitely put it in the middle of the screen for you guys to read as well. And what a difference, what would that be, 7 months makes? Yep, February 4th, yeah, certain things are not required for schools to open, but then all of a sudden, Education Secretary favors mandating a China virus vaccine for teachers. Interesting. Fucking interesting. What's changed? What's changed since February? Oh, it's the Delta variant. Oh, it's so much more scary than everything. So we just need to tell people what to do all the time and don't mind any of the breakthrough cases. Oh, fuck off. Fuck off. Like, I hate to be just so blunt, but that's all you can do at this point. They aren't making any logical sense, so why even bother trying to raise yourself up? It's like that stupid optics battle that people on the right, or whatever, however you want to fucking dichotomize the two types of people that are out there. Oh, we can't sink down to their level. Yeah, well, guess what? They just take shits in their hands, fucking smear it on the wall, and then just tell you that. Do more of that. And then you get these ineffectual assholes that are just over there going like, oh no, you can't do that. You just need to make sure we're just going one step at a time, everybody. We're going to eventually get back to normal. Go fuck off. How about that? No more seceding ground. It's time you just fucking stand up, look the person square in the eye, and say no. No more. I mean what I'm saying. I'm not at all deterred by any of this information that's out there. It just motivates me to do so much more. And yeah, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm probably going to be screaming to 50, maybe 100 people if this one actually takes off. But somebody's going to hear this. Somebody's going to run with it. And it's about fucking time somebody does something to fight back. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona says he favors requiring teachers across the nation to be vaccinated against the CCP virus. Oh, right now he just favors it, but yeah, no, just give it a couple of days, because apparently some schools are going back in session for the 21-22 school year, if I've heard that right, which is totally fucking weird, because back when I was in school, like a decade ago or whatever, and I guess it would be a little bit longer than that. I graduated high school in 2008, so whenever, fucking summer break used to be all of July and all of August, and maybe, I think once we went back with 1 day or 2 days remaining left in August, but whatever, the entire public school system is fucked, and that's another topic for another fucking video. We're focusing specifically on the tyranny at hand. Governor Gavin Newsom announced earlier that day that the following employees would be vaccinated by October 15th or face weekly testing, and several other fucking hoops that they need to jump through as well. Washington Mayor Muriel Bowser announced a similar mandate for teachers on August 10th. Okay, I guess I missed that one as well. The city of Denver imposed a vaccine mandate on teachers. Yeah, see, it's not just staying. It's not just staying at the state level. It's not just staying at the territory level, whatever you're going to call Washington, D.C., because it's not a state and it'll never be a state. It's constitutionally enshrined as not being a state. But if we still have the same cucked fucking Supreme Court, who fucking knows what they're going to be allowed to get away with? But again, they're probably going to take this. This is Democrats we're talking about. This isn't just the nebulous they that's out there. These are going to be the Democrats who are just going to have their long list of insane fucking things that they want to push, lose the House, lose the Senate in 2022, and then just bitch and moan for the next 2 fucking years that they weren't allowed to push the rest of the crazy shit that they wouldn't have got away with to begin with, and then continue to push this fucking boogeyman all the way on to 2024. The cycle continues anew, and you know how it stops? You fucking get off. You stop playing their fucking games. You call them out whenever you fucking see this insanity go on. Cardona said he believes that some people will be more likely to get vaccinated once the FDA grants full approval for one or more of the COVID-19 vaccines. That's exactly what Fauci said about a week ago at this time. See how these narratives just fucking disseminate. Everybody gets their NPC little fucking uploads, and then this is the new one that's going to be out there. Once the FDA approves one of the vaccines, we will be expecting more vaccine mandates. Cool, great, it'll be wonderful. And like I said, it's not just staying at the state level. Ron DeSantis done a great job. Walmart Trump, but I love him to death. I think he'd be a great president, especially if we have the current system that we do, and there's no fucking getting off the constitutional republic that has allowed for the American dream to disseminate and prosper throughout the entire nation, and then be something to laud as the gold standard around the world. I think it's great. And if we can return to something approaching that, that would be wonderful for everyone involved and everyone who wants to pursue it. Hi, but Ron DeSantis can only do so much. Yes, he can have big overarching mandates, just like what Greg Abbott did. This is the exact same situation, okay? He said that no more mask mandates. Guess what? We're moving forward. We're just going to allow people to live their fucking life however they want to, okay? And then the city of Austin's like, no, we need more mask mandates. We need to be governed harder, daddy. So everybody, we're just going to disregard the governor's orders. And then the courts just fucking back them up. And this is what's happening here. Broward County, one of the largest counties, one of the bluest counties in all of Florida, are being like, no, we're just going to go ahead and slap face diapers back on people. After DeSantis explicitly said there will be no more mask mandates. Broward County School Board members on Tuesday voted to keep county's school mask mandate in place to not allow parents to opt out of the requirement. Terrific. A lone board member, my mistake, Lori Aldahef, voted no because the mandate did not give parents a way to opt out if they believe that's the best for their children. Well, you could also supply them with graphs and numbers and studies and figures so they can make an informed decision instead of just fucking tune on the fucking television, click on their fucking idiot box, and then just go all the way to CNN or MSNBC and get the fucking party line. Fuck off. Al-Hadef. Fucking should be preceded by a fucking explosion, that last name. Had initially indicated she was willing to support keeping a mask policy as long as parents had a way to opt out. No. That option should be on the table. It should be on the table. It's just the mandate side of it. I don't fucking think so. That's what I'm against. All of this stuff. I'm not anti-vax. I'm not anti-mask. If you want to wear them, fine. But I also have the right to mock you and say that you're just a fucking product of the fear-mongering system if you just want to wear a fucking mask outside. I have the right to mock you. You have the right to wear a mask. That's called society. The board held a nearly 4-hour-long meeting on the mask mandate on August 10th. The discussion was sometimes heated and explored a number of what-if scenarios. So a whole bunch of whataboutery sounds like a fucking great time. Was sometimes heated, most having to do with the consequences of the governor's office if the school board defied the governor's executive order. Yes, DeSantis man bad. Which had left the decision on mask wearing up to the parents. In a speech before the board on Tuesday, Fort Lauderdale, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, trying to work in fucking blacks most affected. President Marcia Ellison, I wonder if she's related to Keith. That's just a legitimate question. That's not a dig or anything. Applauded the board's decision on July 28th to institute a mask mandate for children, staff, and county schools. Yeah, but at the time, there was something a little bit different when it came to the science on that one. So I guess maybe she was ahead of the curve. Not the bell curve, but just the curve. Speaking of the old puppet who was pushing that fucking line that, I don't know, maybe masks should be mandatory for everybody over the age of 2. Well, now he's come out with another fucking hot take. He's just kind of building on everything else that he's been talking about at the time. And Fauci confirms that's likely inevitable. Everybody will need a booster shot. Yep. No, vaccine is the best way to mandate everything. The best way to fight against this virus. I would just fucking live with it. Oh, it's no different than a flu shot. Well, guess what? I don't get the fucking flu shot either. I know, right? I'm a healthy, active, well-nourished, 31-year-old fucking male with a good fucking immunity system because I don't like to raw dog Haitians on the fucking weekend. Imagine that. So no, I'm not going to be lining up for the 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th fucking booster shot that these fucking degenerates want to push into you. White House COVID advisor Anthony Fauci said it is likely and inevitable that people will need a COVID-19 vaccine booster shot. Coming from the CDC is scheduled to meet on Friday. Cool, to decide our fates. Figure out when they're going to be imposing some more lockdowns. Oh, cool. I look forward to seeing what kind of fucking heinous procedure is going to be coming out of this one. Because, you know, they're not trying to get together and being like, well, how are we going to manage this going into the future? Are we just going to have to live with it? No, it's just going to be more tyrannical rule because guess who makes up all of the fucking policy decisions? Where do all of these recommendations come from? They come from the CDC. They come from the mouth, the crooked toothed mouth of Fauci. All gotta fucking live with them because wherever these assholes go, the rest of the world fucking follows. There's not an original thought in any of these morons' heads. It's just, where do I cash my next check? Fuck off. It's likely that it'll happen sometime in the future. Yeah, because he needs to confer with all of his other fucking black hooded, maybe they're white hoods. All of their, you know, cohorts as well to figure out how they can get governing at an expedited rate. God, it's just so fucking openly crooked. Fauci told CBS News on Thursday that when he was asked if everyone will need a booster shot in the future several days earlier, he and other officials said booster shots will only be recommended for immunocompromised individuals. See how it changed and how quickly it does. And that's why I can continue to make these videos that, you know what, unfortunately kind of just read exactly the same. Hey, this is what this same fucking tyrant is talking about. And then a couple days later, hey, remember what that tyrant was talking about? Well, that's going to become reality. And you know how it stops becoming reality? Well, I need not repeat myself any further. And you know what they're going to be doing? Well, it's just like I'm saying. Follow the leads of the other countries around the world. Remember how Australia was one of the model places in the world how to defeat the virus? They've done it so well that they've defeated it like 7 times. Australia's capital territory goes into a snap 7-day lockdown after 1 COVID case. 3 additional cases were reported. A lockdown announcement. Oh my fucking aching stars. Oh my god. Could you imagine that? Just fucking locking down everything because one person has the sniffles. Australian Capital Territory has announced that it will enter a snap 7-day lockdown from 5 p.m. August 12th. So that's going on right now after a single positive CCP virus case was detected in the territory and traces of the virus were also detected in wastewater. Okay. 3 additional cases, all close contacts to the first positive case, were reported in the Australian capital city of Canberra after a lockdown announcement. Authorities are investigating the source of the first positive case to shoot them or throw them in the gulag. What's the policy there in Australia? I'm not entirely sure. The case involves a man in his 20s who was reportedly active in the community, yes, during the infectious period. Okay. So he's 20 and he's infected. Unless he's one of these fucking diabetic land whales, I think he'll probably make it. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that one out there. ACT Chief Minister Andrew Barr. That last name doesn't hold a whole lot of weight anymore, thanks to Bill. Described it as the most serious public health. Go fuck off. Go fuck off. If you're so scared about it, if you think it's the most serious public health risk that's out there, why don't you quarantine? Or no, better yet, just lock everybody down for 7 days. And the way Australia does it, you're not allowed to leave your house. You guys remember, this was Sydney about a week and change ago. They put 300 military personnel on the streets to enforce this shit. Gonna do exactly the same thing in and around Canberra. And then you got that Easter Island head running that fucking sheep-filled country over there, Jacinda Ardern. Yeah, New Zealand's borders will remain closed until 2022. Jacinda Ardern vows to stick with zero COVID strategy. It's worked so well for her, she's defeated the virus several times now, right? Yeah, exactly. With zero COVID strategy and will not ease restrictions until the entire population is double jabbed. I called her out before. It was one of the first mistakes I made on my channel. I assumed that just like every other developed nation in the world, election cycles happen in 3-year increments, unless, of course, you know, parliamentary systems where you have to fucking finagle through different coalition governments that are out there. It's a 3-year term for her. Okay, cool. So she'll be up for re-election again in 2022. Can't fucking wait because she has been just one of the biggest fucking tyrants ever since she's assumed the position. But she's immune from criticism because she's just a woman, okay? She also had to take maternity leave to fucking pop out some little fucking slob anyways. And that's supposed to be some sort of a fucking mark in the win column for her. I'd love for her to appoint Mark Hunt to be the Secretary of Defense and then just start fucking head kicking motherfuckers. That'd be cool. Start with her. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern today said that strict border controls will continue into 2022. Fuck, I'm gonna have to update the name of my playlist where all of these fucking stupid coof videos go. It's just gonna have to go from 2020 through, I don't know, just maybe 4 question marks at this point. It's not gonna end with 2021 because you're out of your fucking skull if you think that she's gonna be lifting fucking restrictions in 2022. And she warned Kiwis will face full lockdowns if the government fails to keep the Delta variant out. So that's a promise. That's not a threat. Ardern said she hoped to cautiously reopen to the rest of the world next year if maintaining the country's virus-free status. Cool. She said changes would be careful and deliberate. Why don't you fuck off? To avoid allowing variants such as the highly contagious Delta variant strain into New Zealand, where there is no local transmission and domestic life is close to normal. Yeah, okay, so everything's going along fine. Okay, you've had your several fucking lockdowns over and over again. You've apparently defeated the virus, which is patently absurd, but okay, let's fucking go with it. So instead of, because you've set these parameters, rewarding people with, I don't know, the freedom to move about the country and the rest of the world, you're just going to be holding them hostage with more threats of locking things down harder, and that's supposed to win you favor with the population? I don't get it. Russian could see us in a situation many other countries are finding themselves in, Ardern said, citing an outbreak of the Delta variant in neighboring Australia. 4 fucking cases. That's an outbreak. Okay. That has forced its 2 largest cities into a renewed lockdown. Okay, sure. The government is also warning its citizens to be prepared for a strict lockdown at the first sign of an outbreak of the Delta variant. Oh, there are thousands of little comments I want to make, and most of them involve comparisons to JFK. Ardern said the government planned to follow the advice of experts and maintain their elimination strategy. Why? What are your studies on this one? Why does subjecting overwhelming majority of the population, nearly 100% of the population, to fucking house arrest for no good reason? Why is that one of the big experts' policies? But then again, if you follow the white lab coats, you get weird fucking shit happening. You get human experimentation. You get some of the worst atrocities ever committed in the 20th century if you follow the scientists and not the actual studies, not the scientific process. But then again, that's racist now, and you need to disregard that because it's a human health crisis that's going on right now, that whole racism thing. It's so terrible and scary. I'm sure it's exactly like what's happening there in New Zealand as well. Ardern said the borders would not reopen until after New Zealand's vaccine rollout was completed at the end of the year. Sure, despite pledges the country would be at the front of the queue for the vaccine, the rollout has been much slower than in most developed nations. Imagine that. The people that just advocate for the most government, the officials that are in charge of this, are normally the ones with the shittiest fucking rollouts because they just want to keep this going for as long as fucking possible. And they're going to find their ways. They're going to find their ways because eventually all the hubbub and all the hype around the Delta variant will fucking flame out or whatever, and they'll be able to just push their next variant along the way. We already know what that one's going to be. That's going to be the deadly Lambda variant. Could be neutralizing vaccines, new studies say. They're never going to let it go. They're never going to let it go. Oh, because this one's going to evade vaccines, huh? Yeah, vaccines are the most effective way to be fighting against this virus, right? Yep. You just get it, and then all of a sudden, not enough people got the vaccine, and then we ended up with the Lambda variant because that's how things work. But whatever, this is going to be their logic. These are going to be their talking points. Just giving you a little bit of a glimpse into the future here when they start blaming all the unvaccinated people and round them up, put them on train cars, and then ship them off to whatever fucking frozen hellscape they can find and set up their camps. Think I'm joking. This is what's coming. It's running rampant all over South America right now. Or not South America, South Africa. Or maybe South America. South America, yes. And then that transitions nicely into the next topic we're going to be talking about, the crisis that's continuing to happen at the border, which nobody wants to talk about, or everybody ignores like a redheaded stepchild. Running rampant down there. Sure, I guess, maybe. I don't know how you test for specific variants because there's no specific variants test. But hey, you couldn't fearmonger on the fact that there's no definitive science on that. But no, the narrative's just going to shift in this direction. Oh, the Lambda variant, it's neutralizing vaccines. Whatever that means, it hasn't been studied. It hasn't been proven. We don't fucking know that for sure. We don't even know that at all because the vaccines of that part of the world are completely different than what the United States, which is different than Canada, which is different than the UK, which is different than Europe. How the fuck are you supposed to know this type of stuff? Is it just all speculation at this point? That's kind of what they're all running on. Just wait. It's only going to get worse from here. And that's why you're going to have to take responsibility into your own hands. That's what I'm trying to get out ahead of. That's why it's cool to use all of these blanket terms, okay? You catch everybody, all the authoritarians, call them Democrats, call them fucking whatever you want. Just throw that net out into the water. Catch the people who are doing the bad shit, and then you can drag them in, and then you get specific so you can get out ahead of them. Because the authoritarians, the elites out there, don't give a fuck. They're just going to continue to do their shit. They're just going to continue to fearmonger. And the only way that this ends is when enough people take the responsibility on themselves, which at the end of the day, that's the only way that this is going to happen. They take it upon themselves and they get stronger. They get more competent. They sharpen their argumentation skills. You become better spoken. You become better written. You know the topics you're talking about inside and out. So whenever some of these low information motherfuckers roll up on you and then try to tell you that, oh, you need to follow the science, you need to be wearing your mask all the time. Yeah, guess what? You can just look them dead in the fucking eye with 100% certainty, and you can look at them and you can say, I will not be doing that anymore. Don't give up on what's left of your freedom. They've already taken so much from you. Do your research. Get educated. Hopefully these videos help, because I ain't stopping any fucking time soon. Coverage is only going to expand. Coverage is only going to grow, because there's a lot of disingenuous motherfuckers out there, and I ain't about to let them take the torch and run with it. I'll be destitute before I give up on this shit. Thank you very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Catch y'all later.